Hello and welcome to Global News Factory. I'm your host Vikrant. So here we are. The US dropped 6 of its deadliest bunker buster bombs on Iran's most secretive nuclear site. And yet, no crater, no obliteration, no mission accomplished. Just some cracks at the door. Literally, satellite images from Fordo are out. On your screen, these are the latest visuals after the much hyped US strike on the site, which is part of the triple hit operation that also targeted Natanz and Isfahan. Trump took to the mic right after and declared that Fordo was, and I quote, completely and totally obliterated. Turns out, not quite. Let's get into it. First, understand this. Fordo is not your average nuclear site. It is Iran's underground fortress, dug beneath a mountain about 30 kilometers away from Qom city. This place was built for one purpose: to survive an attack just like this. Some even speculate that this site can survive even a nuclear attack. It sits anywhere between 80 and 300 feet underground. To even scratch Fordo, you need to punch through hundreds of feet of reinforced rock and concrete. Conventional bombs would not even tickle the site. Advanced Israeli munitions? No chance. And which is why the US brought out the big boys, the GBU-57AB massive ordnance penetrators, or the MOPs. Each weighs 15 tons, each costs around $3.5 million. Each is made to tear into earth like a mechanical demon. 6 of them were dropped on Fordo using B-2 stealth bombers. The math is simple: 2 bombs per plane, 3 planes, full strike. So what happened? Again, if you look at the image, you would not find any crater. If those bunker busters really hit their mark, we would expect to see one thing: a massive crater, a hole in the earth where the mountain used to be. That is how these bombs work. They do not explode on surface. We know that. They drill deeper and deeper and only explode once they are close to the core. See, impact on surface is not visible when there is only one strike and the target is located not so deep, close to surface. Okay, if you explode 6 bombs at one site, it means you want to drill the mountain altogether. Again, see this image. The impact is nowhere to be seen. Just damage around the entry and exit points. No deep holes, no signs of destruction beneath the surface. Certainly not the kind of obliteration Trump bragged about on TV. In fact, the only thing this strike seems to have hit hard was expectations. Did Iran see it coming, these strikes? Of course, yes. They were preparing for weeks for such a strike. As per reports, Iran had already cleared out the site. Unusual truck movement was seen 2 days before the strike, as can be seen in this satellite photo on your screen right now. You see those trucks outside the gates? That is not a coincidence, that is a quiet evacuation. Iran's parliament speaker advisor Mahdi Mohammadi summed it up best. From Iran's perspective, nothing exceptional happened, no irreparable damage was recorded. Ouch. He then dropped 2 punchlines of his own. Science and knowledge cannot be bombarded. And second, the gambler will lose this time. Translation: you tried and you failed. Even the IAEA is not impressed. The International Atomic Energy Agency confirmed that the facilities in Isfahan did not even contain nuclear material. So, Fordo is still there, and the US likely hit empty targets in Isfahan. Turns out that US campaign was not a blow to Iran's nuclear timeline, it was a PR event for US domestic politics and also Israeli, and one that is already unraveling. So let's sum it up. There is no crater at Fordo, no nuclear material lost, no key scientists killed, just empty exits and entry points, some broken concrete, and a whole lot of unanswered questions. And then Trump issued another warning after these strikes. He said there will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran, far greater than what we have seen over the last 8 days.
With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill.
Sounds tough. But after a strike that barely scratched Iran's crown jewel, who is really being warned here? What now? This is where things get dicey. Because if this was the best the US could do, and it barely made a dent, what is next? More strikes? Risky. All-out war? Dangerous. Back to talks with Iran? Humiliating. See, Iran is not acting like a country in retreat. It is mocking, shrugging, reassuring its citizens. If anything, Tehran just showed that even America's heaviest punches do not knock them out anymore. The world just watched the US throw 6 of its deadliest bunker busters at Iran's nuclear site and walk away with nothing to show but bruised credibility. Fordo still stands. The mountain still holds. And if this was meant to be America's shock and awe, it barely made Iran blink. In the end, I want you to read this tweet made by Iranian Foreign Minister. It makes so much sense to me. Just read this. And this shows why these attacks on Iran should not have happened. Let's read this. Last week, we were in negotiations with the US when Israel decided to blow up that diplomacy. This week, we held talks with the E3. E3 is UK, Britain, France, and EU when the US decided to blow up that diplomacy. What conclusion would you draw? To Britain and the EU high representatives, it is Iran which must return to table. But how can Iran return to something that it never left, let alone blew up? Trump always says we need a deal with Iran, but there was already a deal in place when he himself, the US itself, walked out of the deal and imposed sanctions on Tehran. This is nonsense. Anyway, I'll bring to you more on this. Thanks for staying with me. You're watching Global News Factory.